Ever wonder what truly separates the ordinary from the extraordinary? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even intelligence. It's habits. The invisible architecture of every great life is built upon the decisions made in silence. When no one's watching, when it's just you, your doubts, and your dreams. Champions, real champions, don't stumble into greatness. They craft it, deliberately, consistently, day after day. Their lives are forged not in moments of triumph, but in the fires of discipline, clarity, and unstoppable belief. And today, we dive into the blueprint. Not just any blueprint, the one inspired by the man who decoded success itself, Napoleon Hill. From the Industrial Revolution's titans, like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford, to today's visionaries like Elon Musk, there's a thread that connects them all. A mindset, a discipline, a fire that cannot be extinguished. Let's step into their world. In 1937, Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, a book that didn't just outline a path to wealth, but to purpose, power, and personal transformation. Hill spent over 2 decades studying the likes of Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, and Charles M. Schwab, not just for what they did, but how they thought. His conclusion? Success is no accident. It is the predictable result of specific thoughts, beliefs, and daily rituals repeated with intensity. And though the times have changed, the principles remain eternal. In fact, they're more urgent now than ever. In a world that moves faster than thought, where distractions battle for your attention every second, adopting the success habits of champions isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. Today, we don't just study these habits. We live them, we embody them, and we become the architect of our own greatness. Positive self-belief. Every champion's journey begins in the same place. The mind. Before Michael Jordan took a single shot, before Oprah built an empire from the ashes of adversity, before Edison lit up the world, they believed, not because the world gave them permission, but because they gave it to themselves. Positive self-belief is not arrogance. It is certainty. The certainty that regardless of the odds, regardless of the critics, you are worthy of the life you envision. Napoleon Hill called it definiteness of purpose, a burning desire backed by faith. Faith in yourself. Faith that what you imagine, you can create. Faith that failure is not the opposite of success, but a stepping stone toward it. Because here's the truth. If you don't believe in you, the world never will. Unwavering determination. The world doesn't yield to the talented. It yields to the relentless. Champions aren't made on easy streets. They are born in setbacks, baptized in rejection, strengthened by trials. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who faced defeat after defeat, business failures, a nervous breakdown, and the death of loved ones, yet still rose to become one of the greatest presidents in history. Why? Because he refused to quit. Persistence is the steel of champions. You don't need to move mountains in a day, but you must never stop digging. Goal setting and visualization. Champions never move blindly. They move with purpose. Success is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of clarity. Hill taught that all achievement begins with a clear, defined goal. Not a wish, not a vague hope, but a specific vision. So real in your mind, you can feel it breathing. Think of Walt Disney, who envisioned Disneyland while staring at an empty orange grove. Or Nikola Tesla, who built entire machines in his imagination before ever touching a wrench. This is not magic. It's mental rehearsal. And when practiced with passion, it turns fantasy into physical reality. Mastering time management. Champions don't manage time. They command it. Every minute is either a deposit into your future or a withdrawal from your destiny. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." That's not a quote. That's a warning. He'll emphasize that successful people decide quickly and change slowly. They prioritize. They focus. They eliminate noise. Time blocking. Deep work. Zero distractions. If it doesn't move you closer to your goal, it's an anchor. Cut it loose. Continuous learning and growth. The moment you stop learning, you stop leading. Champions are not know-it-alls. They're learn-it-alls. From Carnegie devouring self-improvement books, to Elon Musk teaching himself rocket science. Lifelong learning isn't a choice. It's survival. Hill's interviews revealed this secret again and again. Growth is oxygen for the soul. Read daily. Ask questions. Challenge assumptions. Your next breakthrough lives inside your next lesson. Building strong relationships. No champion succeeds alone. Behind every great person is a network of thinkers, doers, dreamers, and believers. Napoleon Hill introduced the concept of the mastermind group, a collective mind formed when two or more people align in harmony toward a definite purpose. Think of the founding fathers of the United States, or the Wright brothers, or today's startup co-founders changing the world from garages and dorm rooms. Who you surround yourself with matters. Your network is your destiny. Cut out the cynics. Invite the visionaries. Iron sharpens iron. Taking action and overcoming fear. Dreams are nothing without action. Fear whispers, "What if you fail?" But champions roar back, "What if I fly?" Action is the cure for doubt. Every step forward weakens the grip of fear. Hill taught that successful people make decisions boldly and act without hesitation. Think of Elon Musk, risking everything to launch SpaceX, or Rosa Parks, whose single act of courage sparked a movement. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be in motion, building a strong work ethic. Grit, grind, greatness. Champions don't wait for the mood to strike. They show up regardless. Rain or shine, motivated or not, tired or energized. Consistency beats intensity every time. When Hill studied the greats, one trait stood tall above all: an insane level of discipline. That early morning wake-up, that refusal to skip the gym, that extra hour of learning while others sleep. Success isn't sexy, it's sweat, and it's always earned. Embracing feedback and adapting. Failure isn't final, it's feedback. Every champion has failed. What sets them apart is how they respond. Do they crumble, or do they adapt? Hill's most successful subjects used every setback as fuel. They adjusted. They reworked. They came back smarter. Feedback is your greatest gift. If your ego can get out of the way, let life teach you. Let critics sharpen you. Let change refine you. So what does it truly mean? To live like a champion? It means believing in yourself when no one else does. Waking up with fire in your belly. Pushing through when the world pushes back. It means building rituals of excellence. Designing your life with intention. And walking a path lit by purpose. Champions aren't superhuman. They're simply those who decide to live differently, to think differently, to act differently. This is not just motivation. This is transformation. Because now you know the truth. Success is not something you chase. It's something you become. Start with one habit, one decision, one day of courage, and let that day become your legacy. Now ask yourself, what kind of champion will you be? If this message awakened something in you, share your truth below. What habit are you committing to today? What shift are you ready to make? Let's build a movement of champions together. This is Wisdom Foundry, and your transformation begins now.